The chair across the table is empty, yet it feels louder than any voice. Loss does not always scream. Sometimes it sits quietly in front of you, waiting for you to notice the silence that has replaced laughter, comfort, and love. You sit before a half-finished meal, food left untouched, your appetite gone with the absence of someone who once filled this space. Silence becomes a heavy presence, echoing through the room more painfully than any sharp word or remembered fight. The words left unsaid hover in the air, unseen but suffocating. They press down on you heavier than the sharpest arguments. It is not the shouting you remember most, but the silence after, the thoughts never spoken, and the truths left behind. Your favorite mug sits untouched on the counter, its warmth long gone. Coffee turns cold the way mornings have, stripped of meaning, without someone to share them. The cup once carried routine, comfort, belonging. Now it only carries a memory. Walking past framed photos, you avoid looking too closely. Smiles behind the glass feel like strangers, frozen in time. The past stares back, unbothered by the present ache. The hardest part is knowing those captured moments no longer belong to the life you live. The closet feels like a museum. Clothes hang neatly in place, as though waiting for their owner to return. But you know they will not. You linger at the doorway, afraid to step inside, afraid of how ordinary absence can look. The bed feels twice as wide, yet unbearably small. The pillow beside yours remains untouched, still shaped to someone else's head. Nights stretch long as you roll into empty space, discovering there is no position that can ease the loneliness. You pause at the soundless door, waiting for keys that no longer turn. It is strange how quickly the body remembers patterns the heart must forget. Every quiet night sharpens the ache of knowing they are not coming back. Their jacket still hangs over the chair, casually draped as though they will return to slip it on. A simple piece of fabric now feels like a ghost, haunting the room with the shape of a life that was once yours. The house is filled with objects, yet empty of presence. Every belonging is a reminder of absence, each corner echoing what once was. The walls remain standing, but the life that once made them a home has quietly walked out the door. You try to distract yourself with tasks, but everything bends back to memory. Folding clothes, washing dishes, scrolling endlessly. Every action circles around the absence, reminding you that distraction cannot cover grief, only delay its weight. The mirror reflects only the one left behind. The person staring back feels unfamiliar, emptied of laughter, stretched thin by sorrow. You search the glass for strength, but only see shadows of who you were when love still lived beside you. The phone screen glows blank, no new calls, no messages waiting. Once, its light brought comfort, a connection across distance. Now it only testifies to absence, each notification that doesn't come a reminder of the bond already broken. Daily routines, once effortless, now feel jagged and broken. Breakfast is skipped, tasks left unfinished, sleep stolen. The rhythm of your life collapses into uneven steps, revealing how much of it was held together by another's presence. What once was ordinary now feels unbearable. Even the simplest acts, pouring coffee, folding sheets, turning lights off, cut deep. It is not the extraordinary moments you miss most, but the quiet ones that used to make life whole. You replay conversations in your head, looping them like broken records. You change words, soften tones, imagine different endings. But no matter how many times you rewrite the memory, the reality stays the same. Silence where there once was a voice. Songs on the radio no longer carry melodies. Every lyric feels like a reminder of what you lost. You turn the volume down, but memory plays louder than music. Pain does not need sound to echo. You whisper apologies into the night, knowing no one hears them. Regret crawls through the silence, heavy and unrelenting. You wonder if forgiveness would matter, or if it is too late to repair what time and words have already broken. The body carries sorrow in strange ways. Appetite fades, sleep slips away, shoulders curl inward. Pain is not just felt in the heart. It drips into bones, reshaping how you stand, sit, and even breathe. Dreams betray you most. In sleep, you see them, hear them, feel them beside you. Waking becomes another heartbreak, as reality rips away the comfort that only existed inside your own mind. Even simple streets turn into battlefields of memory. A familiar corner, a story you once entered together, a path you walked hand in hand. All are traps that pull you back to what is gone. If you have ever felt the sting of memory and the silence of absence, you are not alone. Subscribe and follow this journey, and together we'll uncover stories of struggle, healing, and strength. Your story might just help someone else find their way. Nights stretch longer than days. Darkness magnifies every thought, every regret, every unanswered question. You stare at the ceiling, eyes wide, listening to silence grow heavier with every passing hour. Your body feels present, but your spirit drifts. You go through motions without intention, breathing but not living, speaking but not connecting. Grief builds walls between you and the world outside. Even laughter from strangers feels cruel. Happiness in others reminds you of the hollow inside your chest. You smile back politely, hiding the storm that no one else can see. You reach for your phone, thumb hovering over their name. The urge to speak collides with the reality of silence. You know pressing call won't bring back what has already been lost. Even unfinished conversations haunt you. The argument without resolution, the goodbye without closure. Unfinished sentences linger like ghosts, demanding answers that never arrive. Tears fall quietly, not with drama, but with exhaustion. It is not an outburst, but a release, a surrender to feelings that can no longer be pushed aside. Grief does not ask for permission, it demands to be felt. The world outside moves on. Trains run, stores open, lives continue. Yet inside, time feels broken. You are stuck in yesterday, while everyone else has stepped into tomorrow. You tell yourself the pain will pass, but tonight it feels endless. The wound is fresh, raw, refusing to close. You wonder if healing is even possible, or if this is simply the way life will always feel. Pain eventually exhausts itself. One morning, you realize tears no longer come as easily. The ache is still there, but it dulls into a quiet presence rather than a sharp knife. Grief is learning to whisper instead of scream. You start to notice small things again. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of rain on the roof. They feel unfamiliar, like rediscovering a language you once forgot. A friend's message arrives. You hesitate before replying, but eventually, you type a simple word back. Connection feels fragile, yet necessary. Even the smallest gesture is proof that you are not entirely alone. You step outside, not with purpose, but with curiosity. The world feels larger than your sorrow for a brief moment. People pass by, unaware of your story, yet somehow their presence brings comfort. Memories no longer arrive like ambushes. They drift in softer, less violent. You still hurt, but the sting is different, less about breaking, more about remembering what once was beautiful, even if it's gone. You breathe more deeply now, noticing how air fills your chest. Healing does not announce itself loudly. It comes in the quiet recognition that life still moves, and so do you. You begin to realize the weight you carry does not erase the path ahead. It only changes the way you walk it. Pain can coexist with the possibility of a future not yet written. The silence that once haunted you now becomes space to think. For the first time, quiet feels less like absence and more like room to breathe. You look at your reflection, not to mourn but to acknowledge. The person staring back is still here, scarred but standing. Recognition is the first step toward rebuilding. The urge to write returns. Not to them, not about them, but for yourself. Words become small anchors, holding you steady as the tide of grief slowly recedes. You cook a simple meal. The act feels ordinary, yet grounding. For the first time in a long while, you taste food not as survival, but as care for yourself. The laughter of children outside no longer feels cruel. Instead, it reminds you that life continues with joy somewhere, even if not inside you yet. Hope is contagious in small doses. You walk past the old places and feel the sting, but this time you keep walking. Memory still lingers, but you are no longer trapped. Movement is its own declaration. You realize healing is not about forgetting. It's about learning to carry memory differently. It shifts from weight to reminder, from wound to scar. The night feels less suffocating. Stars peek through clouds, reminding you that darkness is never absolute. Even in endings, there are scattered lights. You water a plant, noticing how it bends toward light without hesitation. Growth doesn't erase the storm it survived. It simply chooses the direction of life. You wonder if, like the plant, you too can lean toward something brighter. You try listening to music again. At first it hurts, lyrics cut deep, but eventually, melody fills the silence, once heavy with loss. Music no longer belongs only to memories. It becomes yours again. The first laugh escapes you unexpectedly, soft but real. For a moment it feels foreign, but then it feels right. Laughter does not mean forgetting. It means remembering that joy is still possible. You clean the house, not to erase them, but to reclaim the space as yours. Every cleared surface feels like a step toward order, a small but powerful reminder that life still belongs to you. You meet a friend for coffee. Conversation stumbles, pauses heavy, but then flows. Words feel like bridges, and for once, you don't mind crossing. You begin to move your body again. A short walk, a stretch, a reminder of strength. Muscles ache, but not from grief, from use. The body remembers how to live before the heart does. The mirror shows someone not yet healed, but no longer broken. The cracks remain, but they hold the shape together. Imperfect, yes, but standing. You write again, but this time the words are not about them. They are about you. Your story begins to stretch beyond loss, moving into a chapter yet unwritten. You find yourself smiling at strangers. The smile feels tentative, unsure, but it's real. Connection no longer feels impossible. It feels like possibility waiting at every turn. Your heart still aches, but it now beats with purpose. Grief has not vanished, it has softened, making room for something else. Resilience. You carry your past, but you also carry yourself. Healing is not about erasing the past. It is about carrying it with gentleness, like a scar that no longer bleeds. You walk forward not because you've forgotten, but because life still calls you to live. You look at the sky and realize endings are also beginnings. The horizon is wide, and though you don't know what waits beyond it, you know you are strong enough to find out. The heart that once felt shattered now beats differently, slower, steadier, but alive. Love did not destroy you. It broke you open, so you could discover the depth of your own strength. If you have ever felt this way, know you are not alone. Pain may have shaped you, but it will not define you. Subscribe, share your journey, and let's walk through these stories together. This is not the end. It's the beginning of your next chapter. Follow Break the Labyrinth for more stories of heartbreak, resilience, and rediscovery. Together, we'll turn pain into power and endings into new journeys.